Ladies and gents, it's been over 2 years since the release of Supercross 6. And in those roughly 2 years, you've all expressed your opinions to Milestone, and I think they've listened because now we have Supercross 25. And it's not the same copy paste game that we've seen for the last 6 iterations. So, welcome in. I'm Fifth Pinned, and we're gonna go through this. We're gonna take a look at everything that Supercross 25 has to offer, see what changed, what we like, what we don't, and hopefully, with the information I've shared with you guys, you can form an opinion on whether or not Supercross 25 is something you want to buy. So stay tuned. So first things first, I'm gonna tear through the menu with you guys. And as I, hover over things, I'll give you my brief experiences with certain items in the menu. And then after we tear through all that, then we'll get into some gameplay. So this is what you open to, pretty much. You get a little scene of your rider walking to his bike, and then it opens up with all of your options. So we'll watch that unfold. So as you can see, the last time I played, I was riding as Jalik Swole. All right. So this is where it kicks you off to. This is your home, and you have your career, your online hub, and then Supercross Academy. I'll be honest, Supercross Academy, I never touched. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I assume that that's basically your tutorial. I would show you, but honestly, I don't care, and I'm sure most of you guys don't either, because if you're looking at this, you probably played all the other Supercross games. So that's that. I played a little bit of the career. Just forewarning, if you played on realistic difficulties in previous Supercross games, I mean, we all know it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. We've seen both ends of the spectrum. In this one, if you go to realistic, they are nearly unbeatable. And that says a lot because I've competed in these games since the very first one, and I've made pro mains, and to be one of the higher level players in the game and not be able to beat the AI is bonkers. So anyways, yeah, you start with like 4 futures races, I think, 3 or 4, and then you move on to lights and, pick whatever team you're gonna run with, whatnot. There's a little bit more to it, like, when you hop in, I'll just hop in real quick so I can make sure that I hit all the points, but essentially, you come into here, you hit your trigger, that's, like, where you manage all of your social media interactions. The way that you choose to interact with certain comments affects the teams that approach you and how your, opponents treat you on the track and whatnot. So, there's that. So you have, like, your reputation and synergy meter, and that will change based on your interactions with the social media and your performances in the races. So, um, yeah, like I was saying, it's futures, then lights, and then 450s after all that nonsense. So then you can tab over with the bumpers. It'll show you your rider, your team, whatever. And then I don't have the bike development stuff unlocked because I did 3 races in the career and that was it. I pretty much only play these for online, and I feel like that's how a lot of people play them. So then if you go to your online hub, you can choose your game mode, which there's not like there's a lot of options. You just have private lobby and you have unranked sessions. Currently, the way it's laid out, which I hope it's not the way that it stays, but for the unranked sessions at the moment, it's like 2 hours that they set the category, and then you have to choose between 2 tracks. It's not even that you get to choose. It only cycles between 2 tracks within those 2 hours. So it'll stay on 450s on 2 tracks for 2 hours, and then maybe the next one will be like East Coast lights and 2 other tracks for the next 2 hours, and it'll keep cycling like that between 450, 250 East, 250 West, and then whatever 2 random tracks they decide to run. It's always Supercross tracks as far as I've seen, even though they made nationals in this game. I've only seen Supercross in the playlist, but you can run all the outdoors in the private lobbies. That's not a problem. You can also run custom tracks in the private lobbies. We've done that too. Then like you would go in here before your race, you change your rider and whatnot all in here. You cannot do it once you've joined a session. So it all happens out here, as far as I'm aware, for the unranked. In private, you can do it in between, I believe. So there's that. And then you have they do have split screen, by the way. Didn't try it. I'm on PC. I don't think anybody's gonna pull up a chair and share a monitor with me, but there is split screen, and you can do, straight rhythm. You can run a championship or just do one race. But they have the workshop, and this is where some of the biggest changes are, because in six, all we had was a sticker editor and a helmet editor. That's different here. So now you have your presets like you normally had, where you change your bike, your gear, your delivery, your rider, whatever. But you go into the graphics editor. This pops up every time you hover over the shop, just so you know. It's always going to pop up if you tab over to the shop. I didn't mean to. But yeah, you go over to the graphics editor. You have your helmet editor like you had before. Works about the same way. But now you have your suit editor, a butt patch editor, and then you have the sticker editor that you had in six. And then also new is the livery editor. So now you can make your own custom graphics. Now, it appears that there was a trade-off when they added this feature into the game, I think because they gave us the livery editor, the suit editor, butt patch editor, all that stuff. A lot of what you saw in previous titles with like all the branded liveries, all the branded graphics and stuff that you had before, all the gear and whatnot, a lot of that's very limited now because they gave us so much of the customization. There's so many options based on what you've made, what the community's made. I think that was the trade-off they made. So they didn't make as many connections with brands to bring whatever suit you run IRL into the game. So there's definitely limitations there, but it's pretty good. I haven't messed around with the suit editor too much. It is a lot like if you ever played Forza Motorsports on Xbox, the editing for this is a lot like that, where you get 1,000 layers. There's all kinds of shapes. If you did the sticker editor in six, it's literally all the same pages of stuff you had in the sticker editor, but now you have the ability to put it on the suits, bikes, butt patches, whatever it may be. So that's the rundown essentially of that. So I mean, it's pretty cool. I'll show you real quick. Look at the community butt patches just so you get an idea of what you're gonna be rolling through here. So these are the patches that are newest in the community. So you can make whatever. They're pretty basic. One thing I did notice though, like when you're looking at the little image on the left side, I don't think it's a one-to-one reflection of what's actually gonna be shown, because I noticed that the little image on the left is actually kind of grainy and sometimes misshapen. So hover over the thing that you're tempted to look at, because whatever shows up big in the center of the screen is actually how it's going to look. So just something to note, because I noticed some things are definitely shaped differently than the little icon. So that's pretty cool. The 69, whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of freedom here. It seems a lot of people haven't gotten too crazy with it. You get 1,000 layers. People aren't using nearly that right now. That's pretty sick, pretty well done. But so yeah, and it's essentially the same for everything, like as far as helmets, stickers, bikes, whatever, butt patches. It's all like this when you're navigating it. So there's that. We went through multiplayer, single player, that, if you're just wanting to not do the career, but you don't want to play online, you have your single event, you have straight rhythm, you can time attack any track. Though I will note that right now, time attack is kind of busted, as you probably experienced in previous milestone games. If you run faster than a certain threshold on tracks, the time won't get recorded to the leaderboard. That's been a problem before, nothing new there, but just so you know, that is happening again with this one. and then you could do championships by yourself, which I don't know why you'd want to do that when there's a career mode, but hey, if you want to skip 250s and you just want to do 450 championship right off the rip, go ahead. Um, Now the one thing that is really big, especially for PC players, is this time the cross plat is all the platforms, not just consoles. So now it's Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. So that's a big deal because I know PC was dead on 6 after like a month. Um, and progression in this game, another big thing to talk about. You do not have a credit system anymore. So no more like running, easy credit races where you just run a circle for, 10 minutes and rack up a bunch of credits. Everything's based off experience now. There's no like currency in the game. So now all the gear and bikes and parts and all that are unlocked through experience instead of credits. So the thing that sucks about that is it's not like you can save up experience and put it towards the one item that you want to unlock. It all unlocks at specific levels, so you may be riding for a while before you get to the things that you want to unlock. So that kind of sucks, but I think part of why they did it was because on PCs, people used to cheat engine their credits and then just unlock everything right on day one of the game, which is convenient, but at the same time, it really kills the game in the sense that people aren't playing what Milestone put work into. Um, so I kind of understand that, but I kind of hate the way that it's done because it would be nice to bank your experience and put it towards the things that you want. And it's even worse the way that they've done it because not only do you do it for your rider and your gear and whatever else, you have to do it for each specific bike as well. It's kind of like doing weapons in Call of Duty, where like you have to play with that item in order to unlock things for that item. So like if you want to unlock parts for the KTM, you've got to be racing the KTM. So that kind of hurts a little bit to be doing it like that, especially because the progression for all that takes quite a bit of time. I've logged about 15 hours on the game, and I think I'm like level 7 or 8 on the KTM, and progression goes all the way up to like level 15 where you stop unlocking stuff. I think it goes all the way to level 30, but unlocks stop at 15. That's the last thing that you unlock is at level 15. So that's another key point there. But handling is very different in this game. A lot of people hate the copy and paste physics of Milestone's Supercross games. I know, from 1 to 6, there's not been a drastic difference. We've encountered like little quirks here and there throughout the game, where like you could scrub in the corners to like make the bike turn on a dime. You could, ride wheelies and blitz sections or ride wheelies just to gain speed. A lot of that's all been done away with. Wheelie scrubbing is hardly a thing anymore. I mean, it still kind of is, but it doesn't have the advantage that it used to have. In this one, similar to 6, if you would hit a wheelie, once you get the wheel up high, the bike like kind of cuts the engine and kills power. So that's still happening from 6 if you played that. But the biggest difference, and you'll notice it right away when you play, is leaning on the bike is the opposite of what it was in all the games before. So when you lean now, you have to lean opposite of the corner direction. So if you're turning left, you have to lean right. And basically, I think what they're trying to simulate is that you're weighting that outside foot peg. So that's something that's going to take some time to get used to. I know for me, in the 15 hours I've put into the game so far, I still find myself in corners leaning the wrong direction. I'm sure with more time in the game, I will get used to it. Some people are really gonna hate that. I'm I haven't decided yet, but it does add a new challenge to the game, so that's kind of nice. It's something to work on. It's not like I just picked the game up brand new and I'm freaking. It feels like I'm ripping the same game. So I guess in that aspect, it is pretty nice, but let me get to some gameplay here for you guys because I know just sitting here in the menu talking isn't really that exciting. So let's fool around real quick. We'll go hit a multiplayer race. I'll show you what this new unranked nonsense is. So right now it's on 450s. If you want to see what the tracks are, you just press X if you're on Xbox. I don't know what button it is for PlayStation, but whatever is the shape that's on the middle left. Um, so we got Ford Field and Lincoln Financial Field. So, and then it'll show you what the next hour is. So next hour is also 450s, but it's A2 and then Gillette Stadium. So we queued up. We found a match. Usually when you join, it'll show you a couple of the people that are in the lobby pop up as if they just joined. I don't know if this is the case on console, but on PC, it does take a minute to load into the sessions. Here we are. And then you have your typical bike setup. It's about the same as it always is, with the exception of gear ratios. We haven't seen gear ratios since, at least for me, since MXGP Pro. And then you have your final ratio, brake response, all that. It's all pretty simple. I haven't changed anything. Some people have fooled around with it, said that it doesn't make a huge difference. All right. So on the gate. One thing here, you have no idea when the gate's going to drop. It's a total gamble. So in the unranked at the moment, there's no collisions. So you can ride through people at the moment. I don't know if it's going to stay that way. Maybe when it comes to, I don't know, changes in the future, maybe you'll get collisions back. I think it was just their anti-troll method. Gotta be a little easy in the sand because it slides out. I'm riding advanced physics, by the way. A lot of people are saying to steer clear of it because it's really slippery. I don't think it's that slippery, but it's I don't know. It's a challenge mainly just because you got to remember to lean the other way. This section's kind of bonkers on this track. Doesn't make any sense, but first person camera looks rough. Probably more so because I'm trying to record and play at the same time, but same as every other game, fifth gear through the whoops is the only fast way. I didn't realize that I was just now taking first. I thought I had botched it and was in like fourth or something. Three-way battle for the lead? And in this game, insides are definitely viable options. Oh, I goofed. And then recovering your speed through rhythms is pretty rough if you come short on something. I'm gonna double because I don't have the speed for a triple. Oh, okay. Well, there's that. That's essentially it. I could show you guys the other cameras, but I'll be honest, I am not the person to watch in any other camera. I am a first person main. But I believe if you watch Weedy or Kimizin or Wyndham or any of the other guys that are playing this game in a different perspective, they'll be able to show you a decent lap around in that camera. Whatever camera you prefer, I don't know. That guy's eating mechanics tough blocks. I goofed. Nailed it. I'm just bad right now, guys. Please don't let this reflect on the game. And a double because I didn't carry enough speed again. And then, okay, so here's another thing. And I was waiting until I saw it to mention it. Right here. There's a rut starting to form. That'll happen throughout the races now. Now, one thing I will say about it is they're not like you would expect them to be. They're not like ruts. They don't hook you. They don't really hold you very well. They're like preset, and then as like time goes, it wears into the track. And at my current skill level, I think they're unusable. Now, like Weedy and Axis and some of these other guys have figured out how to use them. Not me, dude. I feel like they're more of a nuisance than anything, and I feel like a lot of people are gonna feel that way. Don't mind me not shifting up. That's the gist. I don't need to finish this race. I just want to show you guys that. So go back to the online hub. But that's the gist of it, guys. I mean, this is what you got. The menus, it's all pretty straightforward. Just navigate with the bumpers. The biggest things, physics are different, like as far as how you control them. I don't think the bikes really handle that differently from previous games, but the way that you actually drive it is very different because you have to lean opposite. But then in the air, it's the same as it was in the previous games where like, you lean the direction you want to, lay down on. But then once you get back onto the ground, it's flipped again. So that's wonky, but that's everything, guys. That's the gist of it. If it was helpful, leave a like. If it wasn't, cuss me out, talk smack in the comments. That's all cool with me. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, because I just want to put useful content out there. I don't want to I don't want to try to flex on the internet. So have a good one, guys. Appreciate you guys, and enjoy the game if you get it.